How's it going, everyone? And welcome to the Sports Scoop NFL Draft live stream. We haven't been live in a long time since Tom Brady's fake retirement. Actually, me and Kean were live. That was our best live to boot. Hopefully, we beat it this time. But to start this video, I'd like to just take a moment to honor the memory of Dwayne Haskins, former Washington Redskins and Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback, who unfortunately passed away yesterday. He was a great teammate. He was a very good player at Ohio State, and he will surely be missed by everyone. Prayers out to his family and everyone that was affected by this. If anyone has any questions, wants to talk to us about it, we're happy to answer. And you guys want to say anything?
Yeah. I think honestly, what's been obviously, first of all, rest in peace, Dwayne Haskins. Just shows that everyone's human, and that's definitely the most scary part. But obviously, prayers to his family. I think definitely, and even I've fallen victim to this. Is just at the end of the day, I was not a big fan of Dwayne Haskins. I didn't think he was a good quarterback, and I think you see a lot of people, and even we posted a video kind of commemorating him. You see a lot of people. It's a classic. They love you once you're gone. So I want to obviously kind of apologize. I do feel like a lot of people were giving it he the amount of attention he got after, and rest in peace Dwayne Haskins, for people who were quick to say he's a failure. So I just want to apologize for that. Obviously that's something that's terrible to see, and obviously the stuff with Adam Schefter was terrible, but prayers up to him. It's a tragedy, and
It's tragic.
Hopefully
my prayers go out especially to his family and his Pittsburgh teammates, who have seemed to be really taking it hard, especially Chase Claypool.
100%. I think also it has to go to kind of how, as much as we love to praise athletes when they're good and slander them when they're bad, at the end of the day we have to make sure that they are humans and remember them as humans. And that, I think, again, why a lot of people are mad about the Schefter tweet, that
what's up, Chronicles?
Exactly, you above his performances on the field, whatever he does, even in the locker, whatever, most important thing is that he, his personality, what he meant, not as a football player, but as a husband,
he's a person
as
first,
a father, as a son, as just what he meant to his family and his friends. And the fact that this happened, it's so crazy. One day he's in the NFL, the next day he's gone. So it really is kind of a reminder of how fragile life can be now. But it's an awful scenario.
It's awful. It's honestly, it's just, and I feel like with all death, it's you're just waiting, not waiting for them to come back, but it's just, I think at the end of the day, it's just awful.
It just doesn't feel real the first day.
It doesn't feel, and even again, like I said, I was not a huge fan of Dwayne Haskins, but I'm currently in California, and I landed and I got the news, or Dylan, someone texted me. I was like, oh my, it's just it's especially with something as tragic as this.
Someone, first thing I was thinking of is that there could be someone in the NFL that we're just oh, he's not good.
Exactly.
And the next day he's just dead, and just
that's what I was.
It hits me hard.
He's the best quarterback in the NFL. Who knows what happens the next day? I mean, obviously hope that happens to no one else, because that shouldn't. It's just cruel for that to happen to anyone. But it's just a horrible situation.
Yeah.
Right. And I think that's honestly what it comes down to. It's just, that's exactly what I was thinking. You never think Dwayne Haskins will, obviously that will happen to him. But prayers up to his family and friends. Not much else. Obviously, we hope they are all okay. And
we just want to acknowledge it before we get into the live.
Yeah. But necessary.
This live stream, as you guys saw by the title, is focused around the NFL draft. Obviously, it's coming up very quickly in a couple weeks.
I'm very excited.
It is very close. But any questions you guys have, obviously comment down below, and we obviously have some topics. And what I want to talk to you guys first about, it was something we haven't even talked about, kind of just off, not even, when in front of a camera, something we haven't talked about as a channel, is, who's the running back one? Who's your guys' running back one? Because I feel like we haven't touched on that at all. And it was funny, I was on the plane I was just bored, so I was listing down all my positional rankings, as many players I could remember. I had 3 running backs. I couldn't remember. I had Walker, Breece Hall, and then I forgot. I literally forgot about, I know Kyron Williams. I just forgot about
James Robinson, James Cook, Brian
Robinson. Yeah, James. I just forgot about all of them.
And then Isaiah Spiller, Zamir White.
Yeah, right.
Dameon Pierce, Tyler Allegier.
Yeah.
Sorry, last thing relating to like the death scenario, Chronicles of Kristen. I'm sorry that happened to you.
Oh yeah, so sorry. That's awful.
How do I get comments on this? I want to be able to see what people are saying.
It's just I can see it because I'm.
I can see it now.
Yeah, I can see.
Yeah,
it,
but
I'm sorry that happened to you, Chronicles.
Yeah, but so what are we looking at in terms of running backs there?
My favorite running back in the class, and Charlie was talking about this, and he said his favorite running back was James Cook. I don't agree with him here. My favorite running back is Breece Hall. I think he's the most dynamic, and I think he is the most likely to catch on day one. As far as who has the best potential in the NFL to succeed over a long period of time, my answer would probably be Brian Robinson, because I think he has that durability. And as a running back, that's the most important thing. But as far as this season, I think it's going to be Breece Hall.
Yeah. Sir, you go, because I want to hear quickly. I got to put my mic down. Sir, you go.
Personally, it's tough. I think this year, I feel like there are a lot of running backs that can be really solid in the NFL, but there's not like a Najee Harris or even an Etienne, I'd say, in this draft. I mean, maybe Kenneth Walker, Breece Hall, depending on who your favorite is.
But they're not even locked to the first round at all.
Exactly. They're not that level. I think this year, but there are a lot of running backs I feel like could have like okay, decent impacts. So, but I'd say the running back that I think is the best in this class, I would say probably Kenneth Walker. And I think it's like kind of like a pretty basic take, but he had obviously probably the best production in college. He was a Heisman candidate for a while during college football, and obviously not only in the running game but out of the backfield, he can be a great outlet. So, I mean, I'm not as well educated on running backs as I am at the other positions, at least at the top, I'd say. But I would say my favorite is
Yeah, I was going to say, Kenneth Walker has been my favorite for a long time. I mean, I've mocked him in the first round to the Bills. I don't think there will be any running back taking the first round. I think if there were to be, I think it would actually be Breece Hall. But I think Kenneth Walker, Dylan, in terms of dynamic, I think he's easily the most dynamic running back.
I like Breece Hall in that sense because I think has more upside as a receiving back.
Yeah, no, and that's true. And I'm forgetting the running back from Arizona State, and it just makes me sound like I don't know them. I know I'm terrible with names.
I think it's Zamir White. I think you're
no,
Zamir
White's on Georgia. He's it's I don't know. I'm forgetting it. But he's one of those guys where he has that massive upside as a receiving back. So he was someone who I really like. Breece Hall, obviously. I really like James Cook because Dalvin Cook, and they're pretty.
It was Rashad White.
Yeah, Rashad White, right?
Rashad White.
He's a good pass blocker as well.
Yeah. And I think, I don't know. I think the running back class is an interesting. A lot of the positions in this draft class are not top heavy but deep.
Yes,
I'd say a lot of them. Besides even edge, and edge is different because it is top heavy, but quarterback's not very top heavy.
This is the best edge class we've seen in a very long time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I agree.
One of the best defensive classes, corner classes we've seen in a long time.
Corner class,
but
great.
The corner class, I think there's 7 really, really good corners, and then after that, it falls off a cliff.
But I think that there will be 3 or 4 that are not in that 7 who will be great. I think Kobe Bryant, it will be a fantastic pick. I don't know why.
I like Tariq Woolen.
Yeah, Martin Emerson, I really like.
Emerson. I really like Martin Emerson.
I like Tariq Woolen. I think he's gonna be good.
Tariq Woolen, yeah.
Yeah, he's like physically. That's the why people like him, because of the traits he has. Physically. 6'4" and runs a sub 4.4 is a 4.3.
That's wild.
Right? Yeah.
No, I think it's sub 4.4.
Yeah, I think he ran an unofficial, and that's what Charlie told me. An unofficial, it was like 4.2.
Yeah, that was when all the draft times were messed up though.
Yeah, I don't know what was up with that.
I think they had on you like timekeepers, so like the combine.
Yeah,
were just like weird.
Yeah,
but it was a weird year. That's all. I think.
Yeah.
Just combine.
Yeah, I feel. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like in terms of like the class, because again, I mean, we still don't know who's going to be the number 1 overall pick at the end of the day.
I think it's leaning towards Aiden Hutchinson at this point. I think it's
I think it's.
If I had to ask a room of 100 people, I think 70 of them would say Aiden Hutchinson.
Yeah, I think
if I'd have to guess, and maybe this could segue into the next topic, considering how much Dylan hates this, it's either between Aiden Hutchinson, Trayvon Walker,
yeah.
and maybe sleeper underrated pick. I think they could take Equanu.
I was thinking that as
I
well.
heard that Jaguars
Or Evan Neal.
No, they're not going to
Neal?
take Evan
I
Neal.
don't
Evan
think
Neal's
they'll be Neal.
Evan Neal's falling for whatever
He's
reason.
falling.
I mean, I don't want him on the Jets, but I think he's a top 5 prospect.
If the Giants have Evan Neal available and they don't take
the
him,
Giants.
I
think the
understand.
Giants should take him. I think
Yeah.
the Giants would be a good pick for him.
I mean, I think a lot of people are looking at Mekhi Becton and like, I don't know if Evan Neal's going to be worth it there.
Who would you guys take at first overall?
Aiden
If
Hutchinson.
you were like the general manager of the Jets.
I take Aiden Hutchinson.
Not
And-
Trayvon Walker.
I love Kayvon Thibodeau as much as pretty much everyone on this planet does, but as a prospect, and I just think Aiden Hutchinson provides you a little bit less upside, but his downside is just there is no downside to taking this guy. This guy is going to be good in the NFL. I don't think Jacksonville can ruin that.
Yeah, I mean, my real problem is, will Aiden Hutchinson's sheer power be the same sheer power it was in Michigan?
Absolutely.
And also, does it fit more a 3-4 system that Jacksonville are running? So I feel like Thibodeau might be a good fit.
Aiden Hutchinson is worth adjusting your system for. And this is a new defensive coach with Doug Peterson now.
Sure.
And I think Josh Allen, they didn't get the best out of him in the 3-4 system. I think they can get more out of Kayvon Chason if they go into a different system.
Kayvon Chason won't be a factor, really.
Kayvon Chason could play in the inside. I wouldn't be surprised if they did.
No, Kayvon Chason's a skinny edge at best. That's why they put him
Trayvon Walker's a skinny guy. He still plays in the inside.
Trayvon Walker is not skinny.
He's not.
Trayvon Walker is
not big.
Yes, he is. He's 6'4", like 272. That's gigantic.
But
Okay, well, Chason is 6'3", 254 in his defense.
That's 20 pounds.
He doesn't look very big. When I
but
look at him, I can't really see him unless he like really.
No, inside.
I wasn't really.
Inside doesn't make sense.
My argument wasn't really purposed around Kayvon Chason going into the middle. I was saying Aiden Hutchinson is completely worth adjusting your system for, and I think they might adjust it regardless.
Also, I don't think we should, at the end of the day, a 3-4-4-3 switch is not insanely significant.
Yeah, it's not that big of a deal.
I mean, I think that's it depends on personnel.
It's not that big of a deal.
No, I think it depends on personnel.
It can be a difference, but I think it's
obviously it's a difference, obviously, but in terms
I think it can impact certain.
Yeah.
Players,
but Jacksonville hasn't been winning, so it's not like.
So I think. Yeah, I mean, Kayvon Chason, a guy you just completely forgot about. I mean, just a guy who's just been not a factor.
And they got rid of Taven Bryan, who was their nose tackle for 2 years.
Yeah.
So
he wasn't very good, though, right?
I thought when he was drafted, he was going to be very, very successful there. It didn't work out.
So, Kian, who do you take at number 1?
He's thinking between Hamilton and Thibodeau, or lagging. One of the two.
I think he's lagging. So I'll just go for me. This is a tough situation. I think, personally, I like Thibodeau over Hutchinson, despite the narrative that everyone thinks.
Not sure what's happening. Sorry.
All good. I'm between Thibodeau and Equanu. I think those are the two. I know. I mean, it won't be either of those guys. I mean, I think Equanu is a chance, but it's like a long shot. But I think it could happen. Thibodeau won't happen.
Here's my thing with them taking Equanu, and I don't mind that pick. I think if they wanted to fix their line completely and make it so that Trevor Lawrence has 7 seconds before he has to throw the football, I think that's a completely valiant idea for Doug Peterson to go through. But I think they kind of did that in free agency. I think they really adjusted.
I like
offense.
Sheriff, and I think re-signing Cam Robinson's a good idea. But I mean, tagging him. Sorry, tagging him's not a great idea actually. But,
I didn't love the tag, but
keeping him is a good idea in general.
I think Doug Peterson will be able to get the best.
It's not enough just to tag him. I think you still need to kind of invest in that offensive line.
There are still some very good offensive linemen left around in free agency. We have Brian Balaga, J.C. Treader.
Yeah, well, the amount of money.
Treader, I'm not sure how Treader hasn't been brought in yet.
Yeah, that is crazy.
Yeah,
I think he's going to end up in Minnesota.
I think they've spent a lot of their money already, Jacksonville. So I think the two best players for Jacksonville would be, in my opinion, it would be Thibodeau Equanu and Hutchinson, I guess. Yeah, but
I mean, my opinions on Kyle Hamilton. They could put him everywhere, but I don't think they're going to do that. So
I can't take a safety at first overall, but
he's not just a safety.
I know, but he's first overall. That's way too hard. I would go. Personally, I know this won't happen. I would take Thibodeau because I think, in my opinion, he is the best prospect in this draft class. And I'm looking at the reasons why they're looking at the reasons why they're falling. I think, do they not like his game tape? Is there something wrong with that? It's all character stuff. And
he is not a bad character.
Exactly.
Yes, this is what we were talking about.
I think it's more him just trying to expand his brand and that stuff. And
here's the thing,
and fine.
Dan Campbell
if he works hard and if he wants to be a good player, which it seems like he does from what people from Oregon, people who actually spend time with him are saying, then I think he should be the first overall pick. So if it was like a game issue or like a traits issue or not being able to be coached issue, then I get it. But it's not like he's like gotten DUIs or anything like that. I think he should be the first overall pick, but he won't be.
Here is where I come into whether or not he's going to be taken first overall. He's not going to be taken first overall.
He won't.
It's pretty clear, but I think he's going to be taken second, as long as Aiden Hutchinson's off the board, because I think
it could happen. But
Dan Campbell went out, and when people were saying he interviews badly, he's not the greatest character.
That's the sports star.
Dan Campbell came out and said he interviewed.
I don't know what is happening. I'm sorry.
he interviewed fantastically with the Lions. Dan Campbell went out and said it himself. We love.
This is what we were talking about in the. No, sorry. I don't. Okay, it looks like I'm not lagging as much anymore. Yeah, sports star. We talked about it at the beginning.
We talked about it kind of in the intro. It's
horrible.
But no, I think. And then we talked about this in the overrated, underrated video. That will be coming out tomorrow, probably.
Spoiler alert: he's underrated. Go ahead.
Yeah. I don't. It was the thing where it was like, what were we talking about? It was like,
why is Cave?
No. It was the whole thing of he wears sunglasses in a room, and at the end of the day, like it was like, who cares? Like who cares?
Yeah.
Like I think. I honestly think, and I've started to notice it so much more. Some of the draft analysts, and I would almost say a majority of the draft analysts, are just looking for stuff to pick at.
I agree.
Like the more and more I see established draft media companies post mock drafts, traditional rankings, it gets worse and worse. And it's not worse. There's a difference between like having Hutchinson fall or like having Thibodeau fall or whatever. But like today I saw someone have George Pickens as their third overall receiver and Treylon Burks wasn't in the top 10. And it's like, that's just, like, it's like at that point you just don't like and it was PFF. And it's like at that point, like,
well, I'd like to touch on that issue, and it's these guys have quotas they have to meet for their companies. Like I'm just gonna pick a random draft analyst. I'm not even like saying anything about them specifically. I'll take Peter Schrager, just someone that nothing against Peter Schrager, someone that I know does draft stuff for NFL Network. He has to produce like 8 or 9 mock drafts a draft semester, and he can't just have the same mock draft, even if it is what he thinks, because the fans will be like, this is what you had last time. This is what you had last time. So he has to change something, and it's more the business than the analysts. I'll say that.
Which I think that's the great part about having what we have, because we don't have quotas.
We don't care.
Yeah, but no, I think, and I don't. I agree with that, and I think that's actually a very valid point. That's I didn't even think about. It's not as much NFL Network. NFL Network, I actually feel like generally are not horrible. It's like PFF.
They're the ones pushing the Trayvon Walker agenda, though. NFL.
Yeah,
Network.
but Dylan, at the end of the day, the Trayvon Walker agenda, which, as much as we hate it.
Oh,
that was cool though.
That was pretty cool, but
wait, what happened?
You lagged it. You repeated "hate it" 3 times. It was really cool.
It was like
hate it.
Yeah, as much as we hate it, it was cool.
Okay, sorry. I don't know what's happening. I'm in a desert right now, so I'm sure the Wi-Fi is not pristine.
I'll go, but also on the Trayvon Walker subject, obviously, I think the media is actually like. I think a lot of it is obviously the media kind of wanting to kind of maybe spice it up a bit, but at the same time, I think the main contributor, and I think this isn't a good reason for players to rise either. It's just his exceptional combine. What was it? I think I see it all over Twitter, like this RAS
was a great combine. It was a historic combine, which is why he rises. For most people, before this combine, he was a fringe first round pick.
No, at that point he was rising himself into he's probably a first round. But
that doesn't go to first overall.
Yeah, but now it's way too much. I think even a combine as great as he did, maybe rise him into the top 10. I think that's realistic, but I think first overall, it's just I'd be happy because like my Jets is picking 4th overall. That's just one player that I don't need. That's off the board. So I think
Yeah.
it would be a good
And
scenario.
my issue with Trayvon Walker as a prospect, as a player, has nothing to do with his physical traits, has nothing to do with his NFL IQ. I think he'll adjust fine to the league. My issue is that he wasn't in the game all the time for Georgia on a historically good defensive line to boot.
Yep.
But if you're taking a guy with the first overall pick who only had 10.5 sacks in 3 college seasons, you want him to be on the field for every down he can be. And if he's not going to be there, what's the point of taking him with the number 1? Why not trade down? It's ridiculous to me.
I agree. I think
because he came out for passing downs, and
he
he's an
reminds
edge
me-
rusher.
You know who you
Sorry if I'm giving someone a seizure. I don't know what's happening. Yeah, no. I mean, no. The whole thing with Trayvon Walker is like, and this is what we said again with another player we talked about in the overrated underrated. The production's not really there. 10.5 sacks. He's not very good at getting to the quarterback.
Yeah,
Why
he's
would
an
you
edge
take
rusher,
it?
and he has
Why would you take a run stopping edge at 1 when you
I
have
wouldn't think he's a
2
run stopper.
fantastic?
He is an edge
can't.
No, Serge. He's an elite run stopping edge.
He's
That
an elite
I'll
run
give that
stopper,
to
but he's also good
he
at
has
rushing
4.5
passes.
speed, which is ridiculous at that. I mean, Serge, like think about like you would think generally you could probably beat a 6'4", 272 man in a race, right?
Yep.
I don't know what our
I'm
40
slow.
times are. Yeah, no, whatever. Whatever. Our 40 times are like pretty whatever. I don't know what our 40 times would be like for us. What it's like 5'5".
I'd probably say I'm like a 5'2" or something like that.
Seems okay.
That's not
But for someone of his size to run a 4.5 is ridiculous. Yeah,
No,
I mean,
I couldn't run a
It
5.
is.
I think
but the
I'm gonna be honest, and this is a great comment, Marco. I think the
Yeah.
most talented player in the draft is Kyle Hamilton. I think he's the only generational. I think him, Linderbaum,
I think Tyler
are the-
Linderbaum and Kyle Hamilton are the
are two generational probably?
Kayvon Thibodeau.
and
Kayvon Thibodeau.
and Arias.
I
is the
think
punter.
generational.
Arias, yeah.
I
I think in
no,
terms
I think-
of talent, Arias is the best player in the club. Like in terms of
think-
being good at your position, Arias
I think
is.
the
Yeah,
player that
that's what my-
combines talent and the ability like to be the most impactful player in the draft will be Kayvon Thibodeau. That's just
what my older brother was telling me this the other day. He was saying Justin Tucker is the best player in his position in the NFL. I'm like, honestly, I mean, other than Aaron Donald,
What does that mean in his position? Obviously, he's the best kicker.
best player like
But like, who is
hard
the
to say.
second best kicker, and how far away is he from Justin Tucker?
Like
I'd
that.
say-
That's yeah, right.
I would say, other than Aaron Donald, he is the right. He is the right answer.
yeah. Oh, we should talk about what Marco.
See, this is what I hate,
Yeah.
and again, Marco, I think it's fair, but I think again, I hope NFL teams do this and just see how wrong they will be.
I hope he falls to 102 for the Dolphins.
I hope he's like, please, NFL. I don't think he will fall. Actually, I've seen an agenda of like teams like are like, all right, maybe we won't take him. Again, I understand he's a safety.
I don't think he falls past 9.
But I've been saying
I think
this.
Seattle takes him.
He's a Micah Parsons of the back end in the secondary. He can play literally every single position. He can play linebacker, slot corner, nickel corner, apex, deep. Like he can play Mike, Will. He can literally play it all.
Sam.
Yeah, he can play it all. He's huge, 6'5". He's a little skinny for obviously a linebacker.
For middle linebacker, it's a bit like.
But I think what people are overlooking, and when you look at his tape, his closing speed on the ball and his recognition to get to a pass, like his 40 time doesn't reflect that well. Like that's what I'm trying to.
Marco, I think you can just type it in the chat. You can.
I don't know how we would get that.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah,
you
you can just type in the chat.
You can email. I don't know. Yeah.
I would say also on the Kyle Hamilton subject, I think he's a great player. I know he's not just like a safety, but I think there was a better safety prospect in the last 5 years during James, who I think 5 years ago, less than 5 years ago. He fell to 19. And that kind of shows how a lot of people are they don't value the safety position as high as like other positions. And I don't know what to think of that, but I think it makes it extremely risky to kind of bet on a safety at, let's say, just for example, number 4 overall, when there's a good potential that maybe you could trade back and get him later. Because again,
and there is some merit to that. There is some merit to that because you saw. I don't mean to just keep. Well, you know what? Yes, I do. I'm a Miami Dolphins fan, and I see the impact that Javon Holland made on that defense after being picked at 38 overall, I think. So you can get a safety like a Louis Cine or Jalen Petre in the
Louis
second round.
Sign and Jalen, and it is Jalen. It's Louis Sign, not Louis Cine.
Sign?
It's not.
It's Louis Sign.
I was always saying Cine.
No, it's
I
Lewis
feel
Sign.
horrible now. I've been saying that the entire time.
No,
Okay,
I know.
I think everyone's been saying it the whole time.
No,
But
it's Lewis Sign.
Lewis Sign and Jalen Petre, who aren't, of course, the same as Kyle Hamilton, but you get that safety prospect that's going to be on your team for the next 4 or 5 years. That's very important. So there is some merit, but I do think Kyle Hamilton is ways away the best safety in the class.
Oh yeah, I would 100% agree.
Oh, yeah, I mean that's obvious.
That's a fact.
But we're seeing Daxton Hill get taken over him in some random. No, I
Mm.
saw him get taken 10 to the Jets.
Send that to me, and I'm reporting them and getting them
I
banned.
will.
from
Yeah,
every
it might have been on one of my mock drafts where I was doing a team and they got taken. They took him before.
Okay, so then that's just that's not an actual human being, because if that's an actual human being,
we cancel him.
That's
all right. So we got Thibodeau, Hutchinson, Hamilton, Ekwonu, Neal. Serge, talk about Ekwonu to the Jets.
I really
you can't be mad if you get Ekwonu. Like, let's be honest. I'm gonna be mad at you if we're doing the stream and you get mad.
Oh no, I wouldn't.
I'm gonna be happy.
I wouldn't have like a deal. I wouldn't be like. Honestly, there are very few players in this draft that I have like an extremely mad reaction. I think Evan Neal might be one of them. Not because I hate him as a prospect, he just doesn't fit at all.
It doesn't make sense. I mean, him and Becton would be insanely scary, but also not reliable.
My problem with that is
a lot of their.
My problem with that, the only problem I have with taking Ekwonu at 4 is the fact that our offensive line is already pretty
good.
solid.
You have a good offensive line now.
Yeah. We've got, I think both of our tackles are decent. Both of our guards
are elite.
And our center
you have
is
two
like
elite guards.
It's a bit over.
Yes.
Yes.
Laken Tomlinson was one of the
Elijah
best.
Elijah Vera Tucker was okay. He was not elite.
Elijah Vera Tucker was phenomenal last year.
Pretty good.
He was okay.
No, Elijah Vera Tucker.
There is a line you have to
besides Creed Humphrey, in terms of interior offensive lineman, he was.
I would say Trey Smith.
Yeah.
I'll give Trey Smith and Landon Dickerson, but other than
I would
that,
still take right now. I would take Elijah.
Landon Dickerson also. I haven't mentioned how good he is and how much I like.
I think Humphrey. He made the first All Rookie team, and there were a lot of good offensive linemen.
No, Elijah Vera Tucker. All right, I was a little bit harsh.
We're missing the point. But the point is about Ekwonu is that I think the main reason why I could see people taking Ekwonu is for the Jets is 2 reasons. One, because I think both of our tackles, Fan and Becton, are both very good.
I mean, I don't like Fan, but
no, he was very. He was one of the. He was the one of the. No, he was. I know you guys aren't Jets fans, so I get it. But Fant was one of the best blocking left tackles last season.
Well, what do you mean by
as
blocking?
compared to other left tackles that don't block? Is that
no?
Yeah,
no, small pass. I meant pass block. But,
okay.
But one of the best pass blocking left tackles in football. But my problem with taking Ekwonu is that we're drafting him at 4 overall to probably sit on the bench like first year.
Ekwonu
starts immediately.
He starts over him.
But
I think he starts over.
But then I probably
over Fant.
Probably starts over Fant or Becton.
Yeah.
Fant or Becton.
Not Becton. You can't start him over.
Well, Becton will be out by week 3.
Because Becton has apparently fallen out of favor.
How the hell?
Because of his injuries. Because he had like some like weird foot thing, like plantar. I can't even.
Oh yeah, I think that's what Derek.
And then now everyone's saying, "Oh, he's a bust now just because he was injured 1 year." It's really weird. But the point is that I think some people I've seen some draft analysts say, "Oh, you need to draft Ekwonu just in case Becton gets hurt." I'm like, even if he does get hurt, that's not why you don't draft a tackle at 4th overall. I think if we drafted Ekwonu and traded Fant, as much as I like Fant, I think then I'd be okay with it. But I think the only other reason why it makes sense is I guess because Fant is going to be this is his last year of his last contract year. I think he's free agent after this year, which I guess again it makes sense. But then again, I think he'd be probably he'd be on the benches first. So you're either replacing him with probably our best offensive lineman. Or you're replacing your first round pick from 2 years ago just because he had one bad injury, and his rookie year was really good. So it's just I like Ekwonu. I just don't think it fits. Firstly, what I would do, it's not. Can you go back to the 1, 2, 3, sports 5 picks? If the board fell like that, I would probably go. That would probably. Because obviously having
is it
I think
his mic is
Thibodeau
cutting out, or
and
is that just me?
Hutchinson would be
I
gone.
can barely hear him.
Yeah, Serge, your mic's like
Oh.
cutting in it. I don't know. Maybe you're like
Sorry.
covering it.
I think he's trying to say that he doesn't like this board because he wants it Thibodeau
Yeah.
or Hutchinson.
Yeah.
Let's move,
but can you
okay,
hear
so
me?
Pickett at
Is it better now
6.
or no?
Yeah, I mean,
I don't think
Yeah.
any of us are really big Pickett fans, to be honest.
no. And I think I've started to be a very. I don't think it'll be a Desmond Ridder at 9. I
can't explain that.
What?
I can't explain that.
Wait,
one.
no, I like.
No, you don't, Serge. No, you
No, I
don't.
think Ridder. I mean, Ridder shows promise. I think 9 might be.
That's ridiculous to me because Seattle have a high second-round pick that they can get him at.
Yeah.
Well,
I
no,
love
I
Ahmad
think
Gardner to my
with
Giants.
How much the NFL values quarterbacks? I wouldn't be surprised really.
Well,
if,
I think
like-
Ridder might go at 32 to Detroit.
Yeah, definitely. I think he.
Yeah.
I think he could definitely.
But I
go.
think Corral might go there also.
I think
Personally,
it's
I would trade down that scenario because I don't.
I think if there's
Well,
any
no,
quarterback
remember,
who will
this is
possibly go in
what
the top
he
10,
would.
it'll be
This is
Willis.
what he would. This is what Marco would do. So.
What I don't quite see in Desmond Ridder is just the ability to complete short passes. We saw
He's not a very good passer overall.
He does have that cannon.
No.
He does have that
No,
mobility.
I mean,
he had a
I
good
mean,
connection with Alec
they
Pierce
were
throughout his
pretty-
entire college career, but I just don't see the longevity in the NFL because I don't think he has a great pocket presence. I don't think he's really capable of. And as much as I liked his arm strength in college, I don't think he's capable of launching a ball deep against NFL corners.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Oh man, Mark, you're killing me.
I don't
no,
want to. I don't
no,
want to
I
say
think-
he's killing me
no.
because I want to hear why. I don't want to
think-
just.
Yeah, I actually do want to hear why. I don't think it's like. I don't think it's no. I don't think you could say that it's necessarily a bad take because I think really with this quarterback class, it's just so.
The best pocket presence in this class is ways away Matt Corral, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh. But the best pocket presence is Sam
No,
Howell.
I'd say Howell. I'd say
Yeah.
Or Howell, yeah, absolutely.
I'd say
But one of the
Howell's
best
best-
arms is not the best arm
No,
is Malik Willis. The second best arm
is
is
very
Corral.
good. His arm.
Second best arm is Howell.
Serge, watch the
It's-
Alabama game.
No, it's
I
Willis.
was not
Not
impressed.
good.
I was not impressed by
To
Desmond
be
Ridder.
fair, when you're playing a team like Alabama, it's like
Every
But
team in
you're
the
playing-
NFL is going to be like
five-star
Alabama.
recruits.
Yeah, like that's what
he
I'm
was
saying.
playing-
And I think that's the argument against Malik Willis. Like he was pretty bad against Ole Miss, which is fair. But
You're
Marco
You're
and
playing
I
against-
agree.
You're playing 5-star. Yeah, that's why I agree, Marco. I don't think Howell's necessarily very good.
Yeah, and I
like Howell though.
I've
Howell
actually
doesn't
very
impress me.
much switched. I haven't switched. I liked Howell. I think he's my QB3. I've definitely like at first I thought he was awful. Like I really didn't like him. But
I'm battling between Howell and Corral as my one right now. I think it's Howell.
I would say right now my one would be
it's Willis.
Willis. I'd say Willis.
It's Willis.
I'd say Willis or Corral. Then I go
Yeah.
Then I go Pickett.
But the reason that I like
And that's either
Sam
Howell or
Howell is
Ridder.
because
It's
he
like-
has a little bit of everything, and while he
Yeah.
didn't really do that well this season comparatively to Kenny Pickett and comparatively to Malik Willis, he did
Not
lose
bad.
everything. He had Javonte Williams, Michael Carter, De'Ami Brown last season. He lost everything. He had nothing this season. None of the players that were on his team are going into the NFL now. He is the only player.
And Marco, that's the argument I was saying about being Baby Baker. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
here's the thing. I don't even know if I could tell
looks
if I
like
can
Baker.
confidently. I don't even know if I can confidently say
doesn't look
Ritter's in my top 5. But I just don't see a
No.
lot
I
of these
ran
quarterbacks.
into.
I mean,
I
I guess
ran-
Carson.
I was in a
Strong's the only
PFF
thing.
live stream with Ari Mariov. I think that's how you pronounce it. And I wasn't talking, obviously. I was just watching it. And I ran into the world's biggest Carson Strong enthusiast. It was weird. And he was
That's good.
arguing for Carson Strong to go second overall to Detroit. I'm like,
Second
are you out of
overall?
your mind?
I mean, honestly, again, I think the main thing with Carson Strong is his knee.
His mobility it's not a Mac Jones
There's
lack
no-
of mobility. It's a Peyton Manning as a 65-year-old lack of mobility.
Exactly. that's-
Big Ben.
Yeah, it's a Big Ben lack of mobility.
Okay, Malik. I like Malik at 11. No, Malik at 11.
hate George
That's good.
Karlaftis. I hate George Karlaftis.
I don't hate him. I just think there's like a
'cause he's
really,
another
really
one of those
significant
guys that I
drop
feel
off.
like you've been talking about victims of the media. I think George Karlaftis is that.
Is he that? Yes, but he had 5 sacks this season in his biggest season as his most successful.
He had
season
no
this
help, but compared to the other guys, he had basically no.
But you watch
help
his game tape; he simply isn't as powerful as he's portrayed to be.
No, this is what the media coverage has said about him, and it's 100% true. There's a significant difference between the athleticism of him and then Thibodeau and Hutchinson. That's
Yeah.
like
Oh yeah,
ultimately
no,
what it
I
comes
agree with
down
that,
to.
but his power is better. And
He's
I think
powerful, but
if
when
you
I
put him
when
in
I
the,
went,
no, I'm not saying he's like a great like player overall, but I think if you put him in the right system, he can be a successful edge rusher.
well, everyone that's going mocked first, second round, if they get into the ideal situation, they will be good.
No, but I know, but I think he has like higher potential than most if he is in the right situation.
Right. Well, I need to see that happen before I can say so. But
Garrett Wilson.
where
Who's the Jets get at 10 again? I didn't see that actually. Drake
Jets.
London. Ooh.
I like Drake London. He's my receiver one in this class.
I do like Drake London a lot.
Drake London's become my receiver one.
I like him to a certain extent, but I just their route running.
I want to hear your guys' ranking.
I
on
would prefer
receivers
Garrett
because I'm
Wilson.
flip flopping all the time.
Receivers, yeah, I still am also. I think my one
receivers, it's so.
My one, I'm gonna say now. My one is Garrett Wilson. I think my two would be Treylon Burks. My three would be London, or no, my two would be London. My three would be Burks. My four would be Olave, and my five would probably be Christian Watson.
So what's crazy about me is I had at the start of my draft process when I didn't really know that much. I didn't watch a lot of film. I went off of what I saw in a way, and I also watched a little bit of college football this season. But I had Treylon Burks out of my top 5, and we had a big argument about it. And you guys kind of turned me around. I watched his film. I'm like, okay, this guy's really good. But then I didn't really watch any of the other film. I kind of just took what I saw. So now, being more educated, I have my 1, Drake London.
Yeah, and I think that's fair. I
like Chris Olave.
Yeah.
My 3, I like Jahan Dotson.
No.
Ooh.
He is the best hands in the class.
Actually, no, I saw the Next Network had Dotson at their 3 as well.
Yeah, I have my 4, Garrett Wilson, and my 5, and this might be a little bit of a controversial pick, it's George Pickens. I really like George Pickens.
No, I mean, it looks like he fully recovered from the ACL injury, and before then he was very good.
I like George Pickens. He's only 20 years old, I think.
That is great. That is really enticing. I would say, personally, my top 5, I'd go Garrett Wilson 1, because I think he provides the best versatility. He can play slot. He can play out.
Just before you say, Serge, I think us not having Jameson Williams in our top 5 is going to bite us in the ass.
Oh, God.
I don't love Jameson Williams after the injury.
I know, and I'm falling
everyone's saying he'll retain his speed, and with technology nowadays, I think.
But, Serge, like, no team is going to, like, you're just in a class of this deep.
I'm seeing some mock drafts having going 10 to the Jets, which again.
I forgot about Bernard Raymond.
I don't like Bernard Raymond.
He's older though, right? Bernard Raymond. Let me see. No, I like him. No, I like Bernard.
No, Serge, I watched a lot of game tape on him because
he is already. The problem is, like, early in the season, he'll already be 25.
Yeah, Serge.
He's 24. His birthday is in September.
I watched a lot.
How is that possible?
On Bernard Raymond, because I was convinced Miami was going to take him at 29 when they had that pick before they traded it, and I didn't really like what I saw. I saw
Miami traded 29. What?
Yeah, we traded
for Tyreek.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And before they traded that pick, I was convinced we were going to take either Bernard Raymond or Daniel Falele, and I like Bernard Raymond as a pass blocker, and he would have been actually very good for Miami if it worked out, and they did get Teron Armstead, so I'm happy about that. But I just don't see the potential in him as a first-round pick because he's, again, I've said this a lot about a lot of players. He's a very one-dimensional player. We see he's very good at holding off the powerful guys because he's powerful himself. He's, I think, 6'6", and he's really big.
It's a ginormous offensive line class.
But he just doesn't have the technique that I like to see. And that was what I was seeing with Daniel Falele, and that's what I was seeing with Bernard Raymond. And that's comparatively to some of the other guys that I think could go second, third round as tackles. That's Nicholas Petit-Frere. Mitchell. I just don't see.
It's the same thing with Evan Neal and Trevor Penning. Like, unfortunately, obviously they're gonna be able to match up power wise, but at the end of the day, if they go up against a talented finesse rusher, like at 6'7", it's just impossible to be able to stop someone running full speed at you and changing direction. Like, it's impossible.
The difference between an Evan Neal and a Trevor Penning and Bernard Raymond for me is that Evan Neal could sit one of them down in a second. If you see like a Trayvon Walker running at you, Evan Neal could just like push him and he'll fall because Evan Neal's ripped. It's
No, and I agree. That's the difference between like the elite, but also at the end of the day, like at 6, like this a sheer size of especially Daniel Falele, who's 6'8" and like 300,
6'9", I think,
or like and like
That's
340
like basketball player
pounds.
size. It's
No,
just
but like that is like like I don't understand how humans
maybe
can get
too
to that
tall.
size.
Honestly, like that's
And
like
then
I'd
Dylan,
be
add to
scared
that,
to take
that's like in
offensive
Madden
line
when you
that
just
tall.
juice up the stats. Like in Madden, like you're making
Yeah.
a quarterback, so you just make him like gigantic. Like, and with pads on, like it's ridiculous. Like to be able to move laterally is so hard at that. Like 6'9", you know how like that's like that is like
That's
I can't even
ridiculous.
emphasize like how ginormous that is.
I do want to touch on the Trayvon Walker at 19, and that pick would, I believe, be
With the Titans,
No.
correct me
It's
if
a
I'm
pick
wrong.
before the Steelers.
I think it's New Orleans.
yeah.
No.
It is.
Oh yeah, it's New Orleans now.
Oh,
Yeah, because it was
Probably
Los
a replacement
Angeles.
for Marcus Davenport.
no, then it's the Eagles, right?
Or it
No,
was
because they traded the pick. Remember?
was the
I thought
Eagles
the
and it-
Eagles got 19.
No, the Eagles traded
Oh.
19.
Olave at 21.
I like that pick actually. I like Trayvon Walker to New Orleans. I think that's about where he
Wait,
should fall.
Who's 21?
New Orleans would
No,
have
the
so many.
Patriots. Oh yeah, I actually love Olave.
If we're at no,
Oh,
it
the
is
Eagles.
I
The
knew-
Eagles
I knew,
do have 19.
Oh
The
yeah,
Eagles
I
do
knew
have
I was gonna say that. I knew that they traded for 19.
I don't love that. Then,
I'm
because
always
I
right.
think they just extended Derek Barnett. I don't love Trayvon Walker there.
But he can
And they
play
have Josh
interior. But he can play interior also.
Yeah.
No, Trayvon Walker definitely makes more sense to the Eagles than he does to New Orleans. If New Orleans are at 19 there, and I know they're not, and Malik Willis is there or Corral's there, that should be.
See, it doesn't make sense that why I feel like
They're not going to take a quarterback this year because they just
because
extended Jameis.
they
sorry.
extended
I think
Jameis and they signed Andy Dalton too as a backup. So I don't think it makes sense to have a three.
Oh, they did sign Andy Dalton. I forgot about that. There's so much going on.
Tyler Linderbaum for me, and it's interesting because I could actually see him
Cowboys.
being taken as the 7th overall pick to the Giants, and I could see him going
Bro,
out.
I don't think he is anymore. I think that was like an early thing.
I would
No,
be
but I
very-
would not be that shocked if they took him, and I also wouldn't be that shocked if he fell to 31 to Cincinnati.
I would be very content if
What
they
a
got
pick
Tyler
that would be.
Linderbaum.
But
If
I
Cincinnati get Tyler Linderbaum, it's game over.
He's a generational.
But
talent.
Cincy, I don't even know if they take Tyler Linderbaum.
They
because-
absolutely take Tyler Linderbaum.
No,
They're-
because they signed Ted Karras.
but he wasn't that good last year.
He was okay. He was
And
serviceable.
he doesn't fit Cincinnati. I feel like he's not a great zone run blocker.
Ted Karras, out of the 3 signings they made, was the most
Yeah.
like not long term.
Lyle Collins, I think, was an absolutely genius.
That was a genius signing. I
And-
love Alex Kappa as well. I think the
I
aggression.
think Alex
he's doing-
Kappa was a great signing as well.
Yeah.
And Surge, me, Charlie, and Kian all want to hear your insight on Devonta Wyatt because we are all clueless on him.
We're not clueless. Dylan, you said it perfectly. You
Yeah, I
see
did
him,
say-
you know he's good, but that's it.
No, what I said
he's
was
basically like
he's the afterthought
what-
on that Georgia line. We
Yeah.
see Jordan
No,
Davis
he's not
and we
even
see
the
Trayvon
afterthought.
Walker.
He's
and
like
we're
basically
attracted to that.
he's basically like he would basically be like the insane defensive tackle of any other class if it didn't have Jordan Davis in it. Because Jordan Davis just like was
Can
insane
catch.
at the combine. He was
Yeah.
just But Devonta Wyatt put up insane numbers in his own right. I think he also did he post a sub 540? I don't know. I don't remember that.
I don't know.
I think
it's
he was
not-
close.
It's
He was
honestly,
close.
it's gone to the
He's
point where it's
also
like,
huge. He's also, I think he's a player that I think you can't go wrong with there. 25. Problem is, I need to remember who has each pick. Was this made before some of the trades that happened? Because I think
no, it wasn't because he had the Eagles at 9.
no, because he said he also that he made the picks Trayvon Walker before everyone went crazy over him, and you said 19 Trayvon Walker that was for the Eagles, and now it's for the Saints. So I think
No, the
it was
Eagles
made
have
before
19.
the
The Eagles
No,
traded to.
No, I don't think
no,
so. I
they
think
traded
Saints-
16. The Eagles
They
traded
tra-
16 and 19.
Oh,
They
sorry,
traded
they're right. They had
16,
16. Oh, wait, no. So what were their back-to-back? Those were the early back-to-back. It was 16 and 19.
Yeah, they had
Really?
15, 16, and 19. They traded
15, 16. Sorry, that
So
was the
do-
back-to-back.
I have an interesting question in terms of draft trades. Do you think KC trades one of their 29 and 30?
I think
I think they
could.
trade up.
If they see a receiver they really like, I think they would.
Like Olave.
But here's the
Olave,
thing.
Wilson.
I think they really want Treylon Burks, and I think he will fall there.
I really hope he. I don't.
I think they want Jahan Dotson. I think.
Jahan Dotson's going to be taken by Green Bay, I think.
I think Jahan
As long
Dotson.
as Chris Olave
I
is not
think
available.
Burks makes more sense there. He's like I think he's like kind of that big game receiver that like alpha.
I think
guy.
Jahan Dotson's the best man for as close as you can get to a replacement for Devontae Adams. In this draft.
Except a
in this
lot
draft.
smaller. Well, not a lot smaller. How big is he?
I like Drake London.
Jermaine okay, thanks for this.
I like the Jermaine Johnson's placement. I don't love him.
Oh yeah, Dylan just hates shit.
I don't like Jermaine Johnson. I don't think he's that good.
You can't say just say hate Dylan. You hate Jermaine.
Hate's a strong word. You know what? Yeah, I hate Jermaine Johnson.
As a prospect, not like
as a prospect, not a person.
I think the Chiefs would be upset if they ended up landing Skye Moore.
I don't understand how you can miss that on John Dotson.
A lot of people are really liking Skye Moore now.
Is he? What area? I'm so good. Like Garrett Wilson, I thought was like 6'2".
I think he's another one of those burner receivers, but he's also pretty good.
I think
he's also got pretty good route running.
I'm kind of just when I see the name Moore, I'm kind of thinking Elijah Rondale Slot.
Yeah, right, exactly. What are his attributes?
DJ also, although he's not really a slot. But
I will ask you guys to excuse me. I'm gonna get a glass of water real quick. I apologize.
All right, Dylan. Well,
you can take me off.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, he's 5'10", sir. All right, that's what I was talking. Like for example, like Garrett Wilson does not look like he's 5'11". He looks like he's 6'2".
I remember. Did you see the Dan Orlovsky analysis where he said like this receiver class is insane? He said like something like Drake London is Jameson Williams is Marvin Harrison, Garrett Wilson is Julio, and
not at all.
I know. I don't know what he is.
It's so funny because you look at because we have the PFF draft thing, like the PFF draft comparison. Some of them I'm like, who is this player that you're comparing him to? Like, I don't know.
Also, have you seen that PFF for some reason hates Perion Winfrey? Like they have him going late second, early third, which just doesn't.
Yeah, I don't think that's. No,
atrocious. He'll go much earlier. I think he's.
I don't think that's atrocious.
He's a late first and a late.
No, he's not going in the first round. Perion Winfrey is. I guess every year to be fair, we do every year see some defensive linemen go like late 20s who shouldn't have been. Like last year, the edge from Houston that the Saints took, and it was like I don't even think I knew who he was before the draft.
The edge from Houston? Oh, yeah, Eden Turner.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he wasn't bad though this year.
Yeah, no, I know. Bad. And you know who's been fantastic? The Mexican defensive tackle from Arizona on the Texans. I know this is completely off topic. Roy Lopez is his name. Do you not? Yeah, maybe you guys don't know him. He was amazing this year. I saw the Texans post a hype video. I don't know. He's been pretty good. I think Andrew Booth, another guy who's Jesus Christ, Dylan.
He is falling.
What?
Yeah, Andrew Booth is falling a lot as well. Because you're seeing a transfer of him and McDuffie. You're seeing McDuffie now.
I still think Andrew Booth is the best ball skills in this class.
Pause. No, I think it's Stingley. I think it's clear in a way. Stingley.
Yeah, fair enough. I kind of forget about Stingley as that type of player.
Yeah. It's so funny because it's like
Stingley really, I think he's starting to rise again because of his great pro day.
But who cares about pro? Everyone plays ball at the pro day. I say this
except Matt Corral. Matt Corral didn't play good.
Did he play bad?
He's coming off an injury.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not a lot.
I didn't even see that. I gotta watch that. I didn't even know he had his pro day.
Yeah, I think most people have had their pro day at this point.
All right. I want to say overrated or underrated. I'm going to bring up a player we didn't talk about in the last one. Nicole Dean.
Underrated. I think Nicole Dean is going to be a very good NFL player.
By the media, I think by the media he's like properly rated. But I think apparently NFL scouts or some say he's like he's a day 2 pick, late day 2, even early day 3.
I agree with that actually though.
Because of his. I disagree because I think
the
main reason for this is because of his lack of size. But I think you're seeing more and more now. I think you're seeing more and more now. Really good for 4-3 at least. Good outside linebackers, who are undersized. Darius Leonard is a good example.
I don't even think Nicole Dean's as big as Darius Leonard.
I don't mind the lack of size if he's good at playing in pass coverage. He's not going to be a great pass coverage linebacker.
That's the separation. I mean, Devin Lloyd is fantastic.
You see a lot more teams play a lot more nickel now. So I think linebackers don't. It doesn't have to be as strenuous for linebackers. You see more and more safeties taking on.
Oh, he's 6 feet. Never mind.
But I don't. If I'm gonna take a guy that's there to pressure the quarterback, I'm gonna take an edge.
But he's not to pressure the quarterback. He is mainly either. I think he's very service. I think he's actually decent in zone coverage. But I think in terms of run defense, he'll be.
Oh, he's great. Yeah.
Exactly. which is like.
And I understand take him in the first round. I had him at 12 to Minnesota in one of my uninformed mock drafts, but and he was great in the college football championship. He was excellent, but I just don't see. And again, I love players that can play multiple positions. I just don't think he's versatile enough to take over a Devin Lloyd or even a Christian Harris. Sorry.
Harris. I guess, but I think for a team that's looking for a good sub linebacker, I think he's a great fit there.
It comes to the thing that you want.
I think he could. I think he has that potential though to be one of those top 5 linebackers in the league because his recognition is probably the best we've seen in recent years for a linebacker. Like every play, he's a student of the game. He is unbelievable. He's got and he's also like kind of. I mean, he's a great off-ball linebacker, obviously, but he's great at reading plays, reading blocks. I think he's, in my opinion,
he's a sideline to sideline. He really high.
Oh yes, exactly.
Really good tackler.
I like him as a player. Don't get me wrong, but I just don't. I think if you're a team in the NFL with a first-round pick, you want to pick a guy that kind of can get the full grasp of their position instead of kind of being a sub linebacker.
I think definitely now as we get closer, Devin Lloyd has secured that top guy.
I like Devin Lloyd as my linebacker 1. I like Christian Harris as my linebacker 2. I like
don't sleep on Christian Harris. I think
another guy who I don't know what happened, but he would be like a high first round pick if he had. I don't know. He would
seeing this. I know this is kind of getting rare, but I'm seeing Leo Chenal actually jump.
Yeah. I don't mind Leo Chenal. I just kind of see a little bit worse version of Nicole Dean from him, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. I kind of see a pretty good all-around guy. You know what I mean? Like
he's solid.
Yeah.
But there's no like trait that stands out and says, okay, I really, really want this guy in the first round. We should take him here.
No, right. Yeah. It's definitely not a jump.
Yeah.
He's kind of like a pretty good all-around player.
Yeah, I'm going to have to hop off in once we hit the hour mark, but you guys can stay
we
on.
shall continue.
Yeah, I think I probably have to get off though too, probably soon. So
I shall continue.
Dylan, you can if you want.
I can, yeah.
Okay.
Maybe not, honestly. But,
yeah. I'm trying to think what else in terms of draft
we should do what we predict to be at our top 10. What would you think would happen? I'm doing mine right now.
All right.
Maybe
I'll give you mine off the dome. What I think it will be, or what I think it should be.
What you think it will be?
What I think it will be. I say number 1, it's going to be Aiden Hutchinson. Number 2, it's going to be Trayvon Walker, I believe. No, it's going to be Kayvon Thibodeau. I refuse to believe it'll be Trayvon Walker. Number 3, it will be Evan Neal. Number 4 is going to be Ahmad Gardner. Number 5 is going to be Ikem Ekwonu. Number 6 is going to be Malik Willis. Number 7 is going to be, I'm going to say Trayvon Walker. That's where he's going to go. Number 8.
No, don't give me Trayvon Walker.
I'm giving you Trayvon Walker. It's what's going to happen. Number 8, I'm going to say Garrett Wilson, I think is going to go there. At number 9 to Seattle, I'm going to say Derek Stingley. And at number 10 to the Jets, I'll give you Jermaine Johnson.
Okay. Take it. Here's what I think it'll be Aiden Hutchinson. Second, I will go Trayvon Walker. I think it will be. I think he's like that kind of guy. I think Dan Campbell likes a guy who could just like a hard. Honestly, I mean, he probably is, but I would say just like a guy who play versatile, can play multiple positions. Again, like just like really skilled. Like I would see that Aaron Donald type of guy. I mean, not Aaron Donald, but like the scores he put on. I don't know what I'm talking about.
You just compared Trayvon Walker to Aaron Donald?
No,
Are you out of your mind?
He had
10 sacks in college.
Stop.
No, I'm joking.
Let me talk. That's not what I meant. What I meant was that his RAS scores were like similar.
Oh, wow.
RAS.
Wait, it's just like the thing that pops on Twitter, which like popping up on Twitter, where it's like they combine like your scores from different, like it's agility, power.
Okay.
And like Aaron.
So
Donald
something
was,
that's gonna
and
now
Trayvon
start
Walker was
to
like
the game of football.
he was like
Yeah.
on the level of Aaron Donald than that. But like he's that type. What the point is? What I'm trying to say is that he's like the type of guy who's like I kind of like a Rashawn Gary, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sorry.
I
That's
see
exactly what I
that.
was saying. The over.
But I think that's the type of guy Dan Campbell would like to develop and like
Alright.
make a cornerstone. I didn't mean he was Aaron Donald. I think I probably made it sound like that. 3, I would say I think it'll be Kwanu. I think more and more people are trying to favor him as the best tackle in this class, so I think he will go through the Texans. 4, and this is probably a bit of bias and probably a bit of hope. I think the Jets will take Devonta Wyatt. I'm praying they do. I will be so happy.
That would terrify
I think
me,
it's
honestly.
disrespectful. None of you put Kyle Hamilton.
Oh my God, I am horrible.
Well, I don't think he will.
I forgot Kyle
I think
Hamilton.
there's a good chance he goes.
No, okay,
off.
I'm
5, I
backtracking.
think the
Kyle
Giants
Hamilton
will-
goes at 8 to Atlanta.
I think at 5, I think the Giants will take Evan Neal.
I'm backtracking. Atlanta
I think
take
at
Kyle
6, the Panthers. I think they should take Charles Cross, but I think they actually will take Pickens. I think they will because they still haven't had they haven't figured out the quarterback situation. I find it very hard to believe they're comfortable with Sam Darnold being their starter
I
next
took Malik
season.
Willis there.
And maybe they trade for Jimmy G. That's the only, but I think they take Pickett.
I don't know what's up with Baker Mayfield.
Oh yeah, Baker too.
I think they might even hold on to him.
I mean,
That would
I
be
think we
bad.
know that
I think that's
we're
worst
at
case
home with Baker
scenario.
Mayfield. But
7. I think the Giants would seriously consider taking Ahmad Gardner if they trade James Bradbury. I'll do that. I say they'll take Ahmad Gardner. Falcons at 8. I think they could take Jermaine Johnson. I think sadly, very sadly, I think they take Garrett Wilson.
revitalizing the fact that I changed Kyle Hamilton to 8 to Atlanta. Just feel like it's necessary. Okay.
9, I think the Seahawks would take Malik Willis here because I think they want that kind of next great quarterback. So I think they'll take Malik Willis. And then Jets at 10. I think it might be Drake London. I mean, again, I wouldn't have like a bad reaction. I'd be like, oh no, it's Drake London. But like,
Yeah.
I didn't give you my top 5, but he's probably like towards the end of the top 5. I'd say it's Wilson, then Burks, then Williams, then Olave, and then London. So I wouldn't necessarily want him. I still think he has good potential. I wouldn't be surprised if he turns into a great NFL receiver. He just isn't one of my favorites, especially for the Jets. But I'm seeing a lot of buzz that like the Jets like him.
I think the Jets would take him if they didn't.
If Wilson's not available, I think they would take him. So I would predict them to take Drake London at 10. So my predicted top 10 would be Hutchinson, Walker, Ekwonu, Thibodeau, Neal, Pickett, Gardner, Wilson, Willis, and
All right. 1, I think, will be Kayvon Thibodeau. At 2, I think he'll go.
Wait,
Yeah.
you think it'll be Thibodeau?
Yes. At 2, I think it'll be Aiden Hutchinson. At 3, I think they will go Kyle Hamilton. At 4, I think it'll be Ekwonu. At 5, I think the Giants will go Evan Neal.
So that's the same top 5 that Marco had.
Oh, it is. Oh, no, he didn't have Kyle Hamilton.
Is it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's
okay.
Thibodeau, Hutchinson, Hamilton, Ekwonu, and Neal. Yeah.
At
So that's what
6, I think the Panthers will go Willis. At 7, I think the Giants will go Stingley. I think that they will be between Gardner and Stingley. I think they'll go Stingley.
I mean, I think it is very promising to see that Stingley. I mean, I know everyone says that pro days don't matter, but like, I think it was really important to see that Stingley still retained the speed that he had before the Liz Frank issue. So
I don't like pro days though.
At 8, I think the Falcons will go Drake London.
Ooh,
I would be happy about that.
Yeah, at 9, I think the Seahawks will trade if Willis is not there, but we can't do that. So I think the Seahawks will go Gardner. And then at 10, I think the Jets will go Garrett Wilson.
That'd be good.
Yeah. But that is just about enough time that I have for you guys today. We're all in this is TheeSportsScoop International today. I'm in California, Surge in Michigan, and Dylan is
not international. It's national.
And not international, excuse me. What is national? Excuse me.
Yeah.
Dylan's in Spain.
No, I'm not.
I'm
back in the rack.
Yeah. Oh God.
I'm not.
That's an inside joke. Yeah.
But that's all we have. Again, prayers up to Dwayne Haskins. We said at the beginning, but prayers up to him. More draft content to come. Go check out the mock draft we posted right before this. Marco, if you want to check that out, Dylan and Charlie did that. And then overrated, underrated draft prospects video, basically a podcast, like an hour long, will be coming out tomorrow.
I rambled on about Kenny Pickett for like 15 minutes. I think I feel bad about it.
More content to come. And hopefully Dylan's not involved in a lot of it. We thank you guys so much for watching. Keenan McDermott, Serge Colley, Dylan Chalem.
Peace out.
And we'll see
Make
you
sure
in
to
the
like
next
and
stream.
subscribe if you haven't.
No, don't. All right. We'll see you next time. I'm joking.